Welcome back, everybody, for another brand new video. I'm so sorry for the big hiatus I've kind of taken for 2 weeks. Once we hit YouTube Partner, I got the giveaway out, and after putting out 198 videos in a year, I kind of felt a little bit of a burnout. Again, I just want to apologize for that, but we are going to try to get videos rolling out again as frequent as you can. Unfortunately, the topics we have been covering have been kind of freaking stale, so it's hard to formulate a video and then put that out for you guys and just kind of rehashing things we've already covered. But today's topic is what happened to the Resident Evil 8 Village DLC and where is it? So the Resident Evil 8 DLC got announced last June at E3, and there's been nothing of it since it was announced. We haven't got any details from the Game Awards. We didn't get anything when Resident Evil teased their Halloween stuff. So that's the topic we want to cover today. If you guys do enjoy the video, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing here if you guys are new to the channel and want to stay up to date on all the latest gaming news we cover here. And turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. Now, the article we have for you guys is from GameRant.com. It's called Where is Resident Evil Village's DLC? Now, this article was published about 11 days ago. It says, despite being announced almost a year ago, Capcom has yet to reveal any significant details on the upcoming Resident Evil Village DLC. One of 2021's biggest games was Resident Evil Village, the long-anticipated follow-up to 2017's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, a game that reinvented the beloved survival horror franchise as a tense, first-person, VR-compatible, modern title. Biohazard introduced many new elements to the franchise, such as a new protagonist, Ethan, and his wife, Mia, the aforementioned first-person perspective, and a return to the survival horror roots of the franchise that Resident Evil Village built upon to find major success in 2021. One element the fans loved about Resident Evil 7 was Capcom's dedicated support to the title with brand new DLC content. For months after its original release, eventually concluding it's the release of Not a Hero and the end of Zoe DLC packs at the end of 2017, ending a full year of consistent DLC support for the game, which launched in January at the same time of year. During an E3 2021 broadcast, a month after Village's release, Capcom confirmed that the Resident Evil Village deal would receive the same DLC treatment as its predecessor. There's just been one issue, though. After almost a year since Village's release, there has been no update regarding the game's DLC content. Capcom revealed shortly before the release of Resident Evil Village that the developer had not created the game with the intention of supporting it with post-launch content, unlike its predecessor, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This means that any Resident Evil Village DLC content created following the game's release would not have only been developed from scratch, but given the standalone nature of the game's storyline, it would also need to be conceptualized from scratch too. While this is a dramatic change from the development pipeline of Resident Evil 7's DLC, other studios have managed to create DLC for certain games such as Scratch following their release. Assassin's Creed Valhalla just received a major DLC expansion over a year from launch. For example, the difference here is that this DLC takes a lot of time to create, and developers are forced to dive back into the original work and find areas in which the storyline can be split off for standalone content. This wasn't an issue with Resident Evil 7, which was written as the type of content in mind, but Villages is a different story, and as it features a very definitive ending for many of its most important characters. This is likely the biggest factor why Resident Evil Village's DLC has yet to release. Development has likely taken a lot longer than Capcom intended due to small sections of the game's development team needing to build the extra content from scratch. It's still somewhat surprising that no information has come since last June. However, Capcom has had many opportunities to at least tease the DLC in some form or another. Perhaps it could be awaiting a quick rollout closer to the game's 1-year anniversary, which is set to come this May. Now, we also did see, I think a few weeks back from Aesthetic Gamer on Twitter was talking about how a huge cut of Morale's swamp-like area was cut from the game, so we can kind of maybe speculate that that could be a form of DLC we could end up seeing. Now, this said it could be being created from scratch, but we do know that now that and along with an Ada Wong type of content was cut in the original forming of the game, so it doesn't sound like everything has to be from scratch, but it does, still leave a lot of open-ended questions for people. And I do think the lack of communication from when it was announced and with the hype around it when it came out to now, I think it's gonna have to really be a big DLC to actually suck people back into the game. Now, I've just recently started up a new game plus. I'm just gonna give it another run through. But I think with the lack of content, like unlike Resident Evil 7, where you were getting years support of content, Resident Evil games are awesome. Unless you're a speedrunner, the replay value is a little bit tough, I guess. I mean, you can do New Game Plus, but you can also just bypass that with the weapon pack you can buy, and it just unlocks everything for you. It's really, there's loopholes to it, to the point where you can just play the game once and be fine, unless you're like a trophy hunter or, like I said, a speedrunner. But I really wish Resident Evil 8 did get the same treatment that 7 did, because I overall think Resident Evil 8 was a better game. And I think it was a lot more interesting of a world that they could have built on, over just like a ranch. But we're just going to have to wait and see. The anniversary is coming up next month, the 1-year anniversary of the game. Hopefully we can get some content then. But for now, I guess we're just going to have to, keep our minds open and hope for the best with this one. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Sorry it was a short one, even though after the hiatus we took, but there's just really no news on the games we cover here, which is unfortunate. I'm trying to keep you guys up to date as much as possible. If more comes out, we will get that uploaded for you guys, but I did want to give you an update on kind of where it's looking like the Resident Evil 8 DLC is at this point. If you guys have any ideas or speculations, please leave them down in the comments below. As always, if you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you guys are new to the channel and haven't already, and just turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. As always, my name is Ross, and I'll see you guys in the next video.